I have two kids, and their birthdays are coming up soon, November 18th and November 20th.
You like to have relations at the same time.
You like it in, what's that, November?
Can't do the math.
December.
Do it quickly.
Oh, yeah, New Year's Eve. Banging, baby. Boom, boom, boom.
Both of you know that both of my kids are IVF. Both of you know that both of my kids were medically induced.
Go to the doctors at the same time.
Yeah. You love to go. You love to sit on a cold table in January.
I literally watched two other men medically impregnate my wife.
I've seen that online.
That's hot. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. They weren't real doctors.
I feel like that is not a category on Pornhub.
It should be.
Medically induced pregnancies. Welcome to Bad Parents, a podcast about three bad parents who are trying to raise good kids. She's Shauna.
Hello.
He's Ryan.
What's up?
And I'm Johnny. A Tell It Like It Is podcast for parents to laugh, cry, and to make you feel better about your parenting.
Get your best singing voice ready, break out the vanilla frosting, and blow up those balloons. It's time for bad parents to talk about birthdays. And just like everything else, a lot has changed since we were 80s kids. We miss that caboose. It's Bad Parents. Let the birthday games begin.
Let's do a little bit of a roll call, okay, guys? Shauna, your kids' names?
Jack and Eli. Jack is 15 in grade 9. Eli is approximately 9.
Approximately, I like it.
Yeah.
Ryan Parker.
Let's go. 5'7", 180 pounds. Oh.
Likes to do sex more than us because he's got 3 kids.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've had sex 3 times if you're just getting to know
And
me.
it all took.
And I'll tell you right now, I don't know how to make girls. I guess you have to be sober because I got myself 3 boys.
I would concur with that. I have 2 boys.
Right. So Johnny's had sex sober once. Okay, so I have 3 boys. They are Drew, who is 8. They are Rory, who just turned 12, and Travis, who is in grade 9 as a 14.
Congratulations. I have 2 children. I scratched off the winning lottery ticket for the $1 Million family. I have a boy who is 2 and a girl who is 4. And neither one of them were conceived via me and my wife having sex. Both of them, IVF. If you sing happy birthday to your kids, is it still like that protected song where you got to pay somebody, like if you're doing it in public, it's like there's a royalty and you have to like pay somebody like $6 if you're going to sing it?
Yeah, we do like
Is that still a thing?
Even at our own personal home, we do like the restaurant version. Like, it's your birthday, everyone. Sure. It's your birthday. Put on the moose antlers.
I remember being a server at Jack Astor's. It's a restaurant.
Can you write your name upside down with a crayon?
It's only 4 letters, so it wasn't that hard. Like, I felt terrible for Rebecca.
Yeah.
But I could. And the most demeaning thing would be like in your mid-20s and you're going up and it's somebody's 17th birthday and you're doing the song with the sparklers, coming out of your eyes, like all that dumb shit. And so I have 2 kids and their birthdays are coming up soon, November 18th and November 20th.
You like to have relations at the same time.
You like it in, what's that, November?
Can't do the math.
December.
Do it quickly.
Oh, yeah, New Year's Eve. Banging, baby. Boom, boom, boom.
Both of you know that both of my kids are IVF. Both of you know that both of my kids were medically induced.
Go to the doctors at the same time.
Yeah. You love to go. You love to sit on a cold table in January.
I literally watched 2 other men medically impregnate my wife.
I've seen that online.
That's hot. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. They weren't real doctors.
I feel like that is not a category on Pornhub.
It should be.
Medically induced pregnancies. So I have like back-to-back, and I still feel that I can get away with one birthday party for both.
No, you can't. No, you can't. The little girl's in school. Olivia, sorry. I'm not the best auntie.
That's okay.
But no, she's in school, Johnny. She needs her own party, not her little baby brother. No.
Now I'll say
we
this.
Are doing it, so.
I'm going to say this for Jack. I'm going to think for Jack's case. Let's just say your dream is to have a pool And let's just say Olivia is 17, 18, and she's got 17, 18-year-old friends.
Yes.
And young Jack's 15.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to want to have a party at the same time.
You can bring them back at that time, the joint parties.
For sure. So we've done both in the short time that I've been able to have birthdays for my kids, where we've done the at-home birthdays, where it's like, hey, everybody come to our house for a real indiscriminate amount of time. Really, however long you would like to stay. We really dropped the ball on like 10 to 2. Like it was really bad. And we've also done the outdoor ones, like at the play place and whatnot. What have you guys found to be the most successful birthday parties for your kids? Because while you're thinking about that, because their birthday's in a couple weeks, I'm doing something that I feel like I need to warn the parents that are coming to this birthday party, because we are stepping through the doors of Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
been there
man.
before.
And
you got to do one. Everybody does one.
That's it. And we're the first, I believe, out of like the group of parents that I know where we're like, we're the Chuck E. Cheese people.
Oh, man.
We're the Chuck E. Cheese people.
They're going to hate you because you've now set that precedence, and the rest of them all will have to follow suit.
One said in a response when I was throwing out what I was thinking of doing, the pizza's not that bad.
Pizza's very good there.
Yeah.
And they serve, and because they know they're on.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you this. I've never hosted a Chuck E. Cheese party, but I've been there. One of the worst hangovers I've ever had. And it was like hot, like Sunday. So I must have went hard on a Saturday.
Oh, boy.
And the mouse is going off.
Yeah.
And the video games and the skee ball, and you just want to.
Oh, that's a horrible place to have a hangover.
Bright, so bright.
Yeah.
I also feel that like with the way that we have come forward with electronics and whatnot, like it's still the same Chuck E. Cheese band. Like there have been upgrades and moving forward, and that's still what you've presented.
You guys find kids' birthday parties, especially if it's not your own, it's someone else's. I find them exhausting.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we've done like laser tag, we've done bowling, any of those things. It's like they spray something in those places to make you zonk out.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they do, like at the casinos, they put stuff in the air.
Like I think that the best age is when you outgrow that stuff. When maybe it's like, because my kids my youngest is 9. Now it's almost like, hey, Travis's buddy or Rory's buddy's birthday. The parents want to take just a couple kids to the movies. Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, the days of the party when they end is just the best.
Or a drop off is fine too. I'll say this. If you are having a house party, like if you're like going old school, like the house, like I don't know about you guys. I mostly just had people over.
That's all we had.
Right. And the parents didn't come in.
No. Why do parents have to stay?
Don't invite the parents, and don't make it awkward for the parent that's dropping off. Like, hey, do you want me to hang around? Because I'm going to say it to be polite, and I don't want to hang around.
No.
Don't say, yeah, you can.
Because then you're incurring so much more extra costs because you feel like you have to feed the person, right?
Yes, of course.
So now you have like 6 kids and then like 12 parents.
Oh.
Yeah, it's too much.
At the most.
No.
Now, I've always found, I just find kids' birthdays to be super overwhelming because you want everyone to have a good time. You want it to be memorable for the kids, but it's so expensive now. And we're kind of like thinking about every birthday we've ever been to is a loot bag. You get a loot bag at the end. But what do you put in the loot bag? Like, do you put something meaningful or not? Anywho, because we're doing it at Chuck E. Cheese and we're paying for your kid to have an experience, right? With the pizza.
I know what you're thinking.
And the games and whatnot.
Nope.
Do you still have to provide a loot bag?
Yeah.
But isn't like the experience, like that's the takeaway?
Kids are terrible. I did a non-loot bag one year too. And I think it might have been the Chuck E. Cheese year. It was one every year we were doing a lot and spending a lot. And my kid still reminds me of the fact that we didn't. It's your kid will feel bad that they are lootless.
And then their friends are going to come back that night and egg your house.
Yeah.
Screw you, woman. That's the one that didn't give us a loot bag.
Exactly.
Okay. So you would say to give a loot
And
bag.
it can be dumb stuff, right? Just go to the dollar store.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dollar store. Grab a bunch of junk.
So what do you think moving forward? Because I have the youngest kids here. What's been the best kid's birthday party you've thrown?
I got one for you. You ready?
Okay.
Because we did like laser tag, very expensive. Like my wife.
Crazy.
Well, it involves lasers.
Holy, like my wife says it's this much. I'm like, what are you talking about? Then you can bring one friend.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've done stuff where you like hire a magician to come to the house.
What?
And that's pretty cool because it's just a bunch of kids in your house. You know, we put up like a pin the tail on the donkey and that kind of stuff. But the guy was the feature, right? So he would come and create some space. He's there for half an hour, whatever, 45 minutes doing the kids. Me and the few parents like I'm more friendly with that hung around. A couple cocktails in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Then he left, and then the kids just kind of have some cake, and then they're out. Like
That's not bad.
If it's like a 2-hour party and he takes up most of an hour of it, you can fill in the rest.
Agreed.
It's a good idea. Magician's good.
You?
We did virtual video games where we drove the kids to this plaza and plugged each of them in, and they had their own cubicle. They could have just stayed home because they played each other virtually. There was no human interaction, no interaction amongst the kids. In hindsight,
Hold on.
I don't know. Did you ask best or worst?
Was this during COVID?
It was sort of COVID times, yeah.
I did ask for the best.
Oh, well,
Now,
it
does
was
this still
fine
fall
for
into
me.
it? Fine for you.
It was fine for me, but the kids are like, it was weird.
To Rye's point, during COVID, we hired like a bubble show guy,
That's fun.
and we had to cancel it because it was COVID, and all the kids were like, "We're not coming to your house." I'm like, "Cool." So we got to like move it to the summer, and we had it at a bocce tournament, and I'm like, this is where I'm going to cash in the bubble guy for the kids. It was awesome.
Right.
Oh,
It was
really?
so good. I feel like if you're a children's entertainer and you've got like stake in the game and
Yeah.
you've got some staying power, you obviously have a shtick.
Yeah.
And so if it's like, you know, I do balloon animals and I've been doing it since like 1984, there's something about your balloon animals that keeps you in the game.
You know what else is great about little kids that age? Like the obvious jokes always work. Like we hired a magician
yeah.
for Drew's birthday. And as he was wrapped up, I said, wait, how do you make Drew's mom disappear?
So according to tinybeans.com, here's the top birthday party ideas for 2023.
Okay, that's
And
good.
are you starting with the best and then working your way down? Or you're going to...
Yeah.
Okay.
The best one, according to this, is to have active parties. Apparently, the days of them just sitting there and eating candy and everything else is not good. So you want to book ropes courses, zip line, or even rock climbing venues is the top idea for 2023. What do you think about that? Have you ever done it?
We did treetop trekking.
Okay, so there you go.
And that's where the parents did it too. And so it was like a bunch of kids. And we did it like 2 summers ago. I'll tell you this, it was awesome and a lot harder than I thought it was.
So what's treetop trekking?
So you like climb a tree and like
my
you're all
God,
mounted.
the fat kid in me right now is sweating.
Oh, the zip line for you, just you hit the ground.
This is not good. I didn't even think. No.
Sean, his feet are touching the ground. But we're 20 feet in the air. It's crazy. It's like zip lining. You climb a tree, like you're taught how to clamp on and clamp off. And you climb, and I'll tell you, like,
It's like
it was,
ropes course.
yeah. And there's certain ones that were like, I just like, even adults would tap out of. But it was super fun. But
Really?
helmet, the whole thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, well, that might be a bit active.
I also feel like that is the classic birthday party. The kids are tired afterwards, which I think
Very
is
tired.
also an added bonus.
I guess that's true. You send them home tired.
And we just had sandwiches in the park after.
Here's a big one. I have to say, it seems to be a lot more, I think only girls are doing this, but the spa parties. Have you heard of this? Now, you have a daughter who's about to turn
5.
5.
She wants to go to the spa.
Oh, that's cute.
She wants to do it. She's really into makeup and applying it on herself.
Yeah.
She needs to discover nuance,
Yeah.
but she does apply it herself.
They do manicures, pedicures, facial masks, all age appropriate for these kids. And it's apparently one of the top ones in 2023. So on the other side of it, maybe more for boys, I don't know, or girls too. Video game truck parties. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
this? This
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
the street
huge
had one.
one.
Right.
I feel like all the dads would just
Go
be
in
like
there.
pushing the kids
know,
aside.
right? Oh,
Yeah, so they show up for a few hours and then everybody goes in there. And that's a good one too. Again,
Yeah.
I think kids would be exhausted. I like anything where they're out of the house.
Yeah.
2023, this is a big one that's really popular according to tinybeans.com. TikTok birthday parties. I don't like this one.
No, I don't like
Tell me
it.
more.
So it's a theme. So it looks more like everything is like the TikTok colors. Again, I don't know what age this would be appropriate for because my kid's not allowed. I don't know about your kids.
No, I don't like this one.
I don't like them. And you have games like Name That TikToker. They have
You need a break from
TikTok
this.
challenges. I don't like that either. I think that's not a good idea. Space theme parties are still on the list.
Yeah, okay.
We were doing that when we were kids, right? Space. And then another one I feel like both of you would like that made the list, outdoor movie night.
Awesome. So my buddy Anthony, that's what he does for a living. Essentially, he has about 4 or 5 screens, blow up screens.
Yeah.
And you hire him. His company's called Party Cinemas, and you hire him. He comes and he would set up at a park. He would set up, like, sometimes the city pays for it, or you, if you have a backyard space, and you blow it up and you watch a movie. It's awesome.
It's a great idea, but it's obviously very season sensitive.
Yes.
Yeah,
right? With my kids in a couple weeks, we can't do that sort of thing. We kind of had this idea about having, and please, I know you can email us at badparentsandcuriouscast. I don't want to hear it, but we were talking about possibly moving their birthdays into the summer so we could have like a dope outdoor birthday party.
It's called the half year party.
Yeah, but is that too like I'm woke? Like I don't know.
No, it's fine.
It's so I just feel like it's so unfair to see these other kids having these awesome sun-filled 30-degree day birthday parties, and
it's not.
I'm definitely I have to do something indoors.
It's not woke because my father-in-law, who was born in the 40s, had a son. He's January. His mom had a summer birthday party for him his whole childhood.
Guess what? No one showed up.
No, it's not.
Because it's inappropriate.
I like
it's
the
wrong.
idea.
You can have winter theme parties. You can rent the ice.
Wow, you're a real stickler.
Rent the ice.
Well, because you know what's
going
to happen.
Come out?
You know what's going to happen. Then come November. So I go to your party in July, and then in November there's also it's not a big party. We're just having people over
you
for.
Might be right.
Right.
There's a kid right now, Gavin. I'll shout you out. How many birthday parties has Gavin had?
Right.
Because he's summer vacation. He's August, and a lot of people are away, so he had like a little tiny party, and now he's got another party coming up. Because you're right, you kind of have to pick and stick.
Yep.
Glamping is on here, indoor camping. So that could be good, Johnny, for your kids in November.
Yeah.
And finally on the littlebeans.com, escape room birthday parties. What do you think about that?
We did an escape room just for fun, a bunch of couples and kids, like our kids and stuff. Yeah, I'll say this. It's fun hang out with friends and your kids. It's just not my cup of tea. I want to escape from my house.
All right, enough about the kids' birthdays, okay? We were once kids ourselves, and so were you. What were some of the best birthday parties that you've had? Shauna, Ryan? I remember seeing like real big time films in the theater movie parties.
Oh, yeah.
Like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, no.
And then going back for one of those Carvel ice cream, like Darth Vader cakes. And I'm like, I'm living my best life right now.
That was fun.
You guys had that? That must be because you're from the city. We didn't have any of that.
Would you guys milk a cow or something like that?
I remember the only movie available at the time at the local theater because we were way behind was The Bear. Do you remember that movie? It was a silent movie about a bear.
Oh my God.
I had to go see that for my birthday.
What did your parents rent it from the school?
It was all this. It's all that we had.
A silent movie about a bear.
Yeah,
and you were like 8.
I think I was maybe 10 or 11.
Did the bear kill anything or anyone?
It was so bad.
Was it a Hinterlands? Who's who?
I don't know what it was, but it was the only Elora Gorge Theater. You can look it up. We were always a little bit. We didn't have the budget. You guys really had movie theater birthdays?
How about this? It wasn't my birthday, but it was a friend of mine. He took a birthday to a mall, but here's the thing. This mall, we live in the Toronto area, just outside of Toronto, a city called Brampton. Brampton, this mall had a water slide in it.
Oh, yeah.
So we would go, his birthday party. I'll never forget driving there. And his mom was listening to the Pointer Sisters. I'll never forget it. And we went to the water slide park.
I think I've been there. Is that near Is it like I had a cousin that lived in Brampton, and I think we went to. There couldn't
Yes.
be more that had.
No, that was the whole shtick of them all.
I remember making out with a girl in the locker room from where was she from? Laura. I felt so sorry for her because the only movie she ever saw at the time was The Bear.
She's like, this is way better than silent movies.
Can you imagine?
The cool thing about that is if you know the area, if you don't, is like it's like this mall, but sticking out of the roof with like these like 2-story water slides. It was so weird.
I don't even know if it was like safe or anything.
Oh,
but
who knows? What was that? 84, 85?
Yeah, the 80s for sure. That's I remember. And then Ronald McDonald used to do that.
So in this list here of like sort of like 1980s birthdays that kids would have, I remember having at least a few.
Okay.
To Ryan's point, in the caboose
Yeah.
at the McDonald's.
God, we didn't have a McDonald's. We went to someone's actual caboose. Someone who had an old train.
At the Elora Gorge Railroad.
Wow, didn't you guys have any home
Just step
birthday?
over the needles, kids.
We would rent a machine from the library that played films, like the cassette, those round things.
Yeah.
We
Reel
had
to reel?
that.
It's like a reel to reel.
So you
Yeah.
a reel to reel, or like you played the movie, but it had to play on the cassette in order to hear what they were saying.
Yeah, it had film. It had like,
Holy moly!
and to change the canister. I'm not even joking.
How old
This
are you?
Charlie Chaplin's the next the real deal.
It's just that it was a small town, guys. We just didn't have access to it.
Okay, so then you're gonna hate every single one of these. What kids did in the 80s for birthdays?
Okay.
I'm scared that this may traumatize you. I'm so glad to see this because I just said that I was taking my kid to this. Is Chuck E. Cheese is on here?
Yeah.
What kids did in the 80s, and I bet you the animatronic band is exactly the same. Just maybe just new felt.
Yeah, maybe.
Laser tag was a big one in the 80s where you could like just unleash your inner Rambo, right? Bowling
Oh,
parties
we
were
had that.
huge.
We did have a local bowl.
How many
in
lanes?
Fergus. We have maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 3-lane bowling.
For some reason, did you ever have like a clown at your birthday?
No.
Like any sort of like children's entertainment?
I had
at
an
your
uncle
house?
that
Sure.
enjoyed the booze a bit much. That would joke around, but
I remember having a few clowns. Like it almost seemed like synonymous in the 80s that if you didn't have a clown at your birthday party, you weren't cool.
You always see it in the movies,
Yeah.
right? Those old throwback movies. There's always the drunk clown.
Sure. And like the clown did a little bit of everything, right? It would entertain
Hash.
you.
Little Coke.
Yeah. Coke. Yeah.
booze.
A couple nips out of the old canister.
Yeah.
Prostitute.
Yeah.
It was the 80s.
Yeah, it was great.
As long with balloon animals and like some sleight of hand, which was usually like in your mom's purse, trying to like go through her wallet. You ever go have a go-kart party? Go-kart parties on your place we did in the 80s.
That was fun. I think we've done a birthday party, but definitely go-karting was huge.
Yeah. And when they were on every street corner, mini putt.
Yeah.
They say here as well as like 80s birthday parties for kids. Mini putt was a big one. McDonald's caboose. Magicians, like just magicians at your birthday party, just doing things.
I think we had a friend's dad who pretended to be a magician.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't.
Pretended.
I don't think he was a real magician looking back on it now. Like his
Like I got
card
your nose
games.
kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. They were terrible.
That sounds terrible.
God, I had a horrible childhood.
Terrible childhood.
It just says here VCR. Because when we were growing up, that would have been like, such a novelty.
Go rent a movie.
To like rent a VCR and like, grab 3 movies.
Yeah, Goonies.
Came to $86.50. You bring it home.
Oh, yeah.
Your dad would be so pissed trying to like get it attached to the TV. Oh my God. I remember 3 friends slept over and first time we rented, it was like for a birthday. And we did, it was like one of those George Romero horror cheesy ones where they were in the mall. They were riding around on like motorcycles, like chopping off zombies' heads and stuff. And I'm like, so inappropriate for 8 years old. But hey, what are you going to do? Now, this one here, Rye, you'll definitely know. It is a bit, we're from Toronto. This is extremely Toronto-centric. I don't know if you had one of these places wherever you're listening. Just remember it's the 80s. Do you remember the Mad Hatter?
Mad Hatter.
Okay. So it's like this folklore that like, of a birthday place in the city of Toronto where you would go and you could have, it was basically Lord of the Flies for like 3 hours where you were put into a room and you could have like food fights.
What?
And get super messy. And then like they'd hose you down on the way out. You had to bring like extra clothes. It was almost like a softer Fight Club.
Oh my
for like
God.
kids under 10. Do you remember the Mad Hatter? It was a real, we don't care about rules and or safety of any kind. It obviously does not exist anymore. It was just like one off. There wasn't a chain. Some guy. There was probably like hidden cameras.
That's
I'll say this.
Never heard of this.
The only thing close to that is one of my sons went to a what's it called with the guns?
Shooting range?
No, like a
Laser Quest.
no, like real bullets, but they're not bullets. You know what I mean? Oh my
Oh,
god.
Nerf.
like paintball.
Nerf.
Paintball.
Oh.
Paintball.
Paintball.
And it was like a bunch. He was, let's say 10 at the time. It's my older boy. He came out and he's like, I'm pretty sore. I'm like, what happened? He's like, welts everywhere. And there was an uncle in there that was like, thought he was back in Nam.
Oh my God.
Like, it's one thing of a bunch of 10-year-olds, like how much damage can they do?
Yeah.
But when you get a guy who's like Tackleberry from Police Academy.
Yeah.
With his
and he's
own
like,
gun.
His own gun. He's
Yeah.
rolling around on the ground. He's pinging off a bunch of 10-year-olds.
Like he not only has his own paintball gun, but he
Yeah.
also has like a side piece like on his hip that has like in case he gets like, whatever.
Wow.
When I'm always
Just a hint of PTSD.
That's it. I'm always concerned about the guys at paintball who put up the extra money for paintball grenades.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, okay, you need to settle down a bit.
They look like commando. They got camouflage all over there. You're like, this is a 10-year-old birthday party.
Yeah, so that's about it as far as from this article in regards to how kids celebrated birthday parties in the 80s.
Well, once again, the 80s ruled.
We want to hear about your bad parent stories, right? So you can send them to us at badparents@curiouscast.ca. If you have an idea for a future episode, we want to hear from that as well. We are all on your favorite podcast platforms, and you can listen to our radio show. That's right. We get paid, actually, to be on a radio show every weekday morning from 5:30 till 10 a.m. on Q107 Toronto. Until next time, my name is Johnny.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Shauna.
And we're going to see you next Wednesday because a new episode drops every Wednesday right here on Bad Parents.